My mother-in-law treated me like a slave after I married her son and tried to manipulate my husband, saying that I disrespected her. My husband demanded I apologize until I made him listen to the recordings. When Keith and I were dating, Diane was the sweetest woman alive, called me her future daughter, bought me thoughtful gifts, and always took my side when Keith and I argued. She'd pull me aside at family dinners, whisper that I was too good for her son, that she prayed every night he wouldn't mess this up. She helped plan our wedding, told everyone at her book club I was like the daughter she never had, even cried during her toast, saying she was gaining a best friend, not losing a son. The mask dropped exactly 3 days after our honeymoon. She showed up at 7 in the morning with a list of chores, saying now that I was officially family, I needed to contribute properly. Clean her house every Wednesday, cook Sunday dinners for her prayer group, pick up her prescriptions, groceries, and dry cleaning. When I looked at Keith, confused, he just shrugged and said his mom had done everything alone since his dad died, and she needed help. I tried to be understanding at first. She was a widow, Keith was her only child, and maybe she was just lonely, but then the demands escalated. She'd call me at work, saying her kitchen floor needed mopping immediately, would tell me to leave meetings to drive her to appointments she'd scheduled without asking, started criticizing everything I did, the way I folded her towels, how I seasoned the pot roast, said I was doing it all wrong and needed to learn the proper way, meaning her way. Keith never saw it. When his mom was around him, she was as sweet as pie, praised my cooking while telling him she'd been teaching me her recipes, thanked me for helping with errands in front of him, then privately gave me longer lists with specific brands and stores across town. She'd wait until Keith left the room, then tell me my outfit made me look chunky, my haircut was unflattering, and I really should try harder if I wanted to keep her son interested. 5 months into marriage, she started showing up daily, had a copy of our house key, would let herself in while Keith was at work, rearranged my kitchen cabinets, threw out my personal items, saying they were cluttering her son's space, found her going through our bedroom dresser once, said she was checking if I was taking proper care of Keith's clothes. When I told Keith his mother was going too far, he said I was being dramatic, that she was just trying to help, said I should be grateful to have a mother-in-law who cared so much. His mom had trained him well, always played the victim when he was around, would tear up, saying she was just trying to bond with me, but I kept rejecting her love. The breaking point came last Thursday. Diane called at 5 a.m., said her friend Betty was coming for lunch, and I needed to cook a 3-course meal. I said I had a major presentation at work. She said disappointing Betty would reflect poorly on the whole family, that a good wife puts family first. I hung up on her. She called Keith crying, saying I'd cursed at her and threatened never to help again. Keith came home furious, said I needed to apologize immediately. That's when I pulled out my phone and played him 3 months of recorded phone calls. Every demand, every insult, every manipulation I'd been documenting since I realized he'd never believe me otherwise. His face went white listening to his mother call me a lazy cow who trapped her precious son, saying she gave me 2 years before Keith would realize his mistake and leave me for someone worthy. Then came the recording from last week where she told me she'd treated Keith's father the exact same way for 30 years until he died, that it was tradition for women in their family to serve their elders without complaint. Keith sat there silent for 20 minutes after the recordings ended. Then he called his mother, put her on speaker, and told her he'd heard everything. She immediately started sobbing, saying I'd twisted her words, taken things out of context, that she was just teaching me to be a proper wife like she'd been. Keith asked her one question. Full story on channel. Link below.